afternoon, everybody. Let's look at your headlines on this Wednesday afternoon. A Daphne man is accused of impersonating a drug enforcement officer. Plus, we have a new archbishop, when he is supposed to start, and 2 people in custody after a morning police chief. That and more on News 5 Now. After a police chase, I said police chief. Let's get started with News 5 Now.
Brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers. Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. News 5 Now starts right now.
Hello, everybody. I promise you I can talk. I promise you. I did really well at noon today. I don't know why I can't talk during this podcast, but I'm so excited to be with you for News 5 Now. I'm Devin Walsh. This is a chance for us to visit. It's just so relaxed. I really enjoy our News 5 Now moments together where we get to hear from you. We tell you about our poll of the day and our question of the day, and we bring you the big stories. And so I love this time, and I always start off with a little bit of a weather forecast. Today we had our brand new meteorologist, Sam Parker, in for Caroline this afternoon, and he said our rain chances are really going down. He said we might get a few spotty showers this afternoon, but our forecast as we lead on into the 4th of July looks really good. So all of your picnics, your family gatherings, your barbecues, they look good. I'm actually going to be off tomorrow and Friday. I'll be spending some time with family. Love this time of year. And so I'll be back with you on Monday, but I'm glad to hear that the weather is looking good for all of the festivities. Okay, everybody, let's get right to our big stories at this hour. A Daphne man is accused of impersonating a police officer. Court records say 44-year-old Donnie England Jr. showed a Drug Enforcement Administration badge at the Top of the Bay bar and restaurant in Daphne over the weekend. England allegedly claimed to be working a drug sting operation. He's now out on bond. Number 4, over a dozen people have been arrested locally for illegally being in the U.S., according to the FBI. The Gulf of America Homeland Security Task Force arrested 15 illegal immigrants yesterday. This raid took place on Azalea Road between Michael Boulevard and Airport Boulevard. Among those detained, an unaccompanied minor. Number 3, new Archbishop Mark Rivatuso will officially begin his new job in September. His installation mass will be held September 3rd at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception at 11 a.m. in downtown Mobile. He comes to us from St. Louis. He was formally introduced yesterday at his first mass, but he begins the job September 3rd. He is succeeding retiring Archbishop Thomas Rohde. Number 2, over 72 million people are expected to travel during the 4th of July holiday. AAA says this is an increase of 1.7 million travelers compared to last year. Nearly 62 million are expected to be on the roads by car, which is up a couple of percentage points from last year. Nearly 6 million will fly to their destinations. This has many travelers expecting a congested airport. And number 1, a police chase in Mobile ends with 2 people in custody. Police tell us officers tried to pull over a white Mustang for a tag violation about 3 miles away near Government Street and McVeigh Drive, when police say the vehicle fled east toward Murray Hill Common Apartments. Police tell us they detained 2 people for questioning. And that is a look at your big stories at this hour. Okay, everybody. It's been an exciting week here in Mobile. We learned all about Amtrak coming to Mobile, and so that's what our question of the day is about. What are your thoughts about Amtrak coming to Mobile? What do you think about it? We've been talking about it for a long time, so that's our question of the day. Let's go ahead and read some of your thoughts. A lot of people are talking about Pensacola. Would be better if it was from the Pensacola Airport to New Orleans Airport, stops along the way, so you could fly without having to park. The $15 tickets. Yeah, that's funny. I'll tell you what, we're going to get into that in just a minute because not all the tickets are going to be $15. Lorinda says it's great, any mode of transportation to bring easier access to New Orleans and other areas. Mickey says we did it with our kids. It was a real treat. Many of our towns were built around railroads, and you get to see that aspect of it. The station in New Orleans will have cabs standing by, so no worries on getting to a hotel. It's a fun trip. She says she just worries about them having the volume to keep it viable. Yeah, I know that. I am concerned about that. Can they keep it going? Ho-hum, who wants to ride a train to NOLA? It's going to take about 4 hours, by the way. If you didn't follow our stories yesterday, there are going to be stops in Pascagoula, Gulfport, Biloxi, and Bay St. Louis. So it's a little cheaper if you want to go to a spot in Mississippi, and then it'll get to New Orleans. It's going to leave, I believe it was 6:30 in the morning, and it'll get to New Orleans at 10:30 in the morning, and then leave New Orleans that night around 5:30, get home about 9:30. So it takes about 2.5, 3 hours to drive, so it's about an extra hour. Michael loves it. He says, it's $49 to park in one day. When I go to New Orleans, I rarely drive, so it would work out well. It's about time, says Charlotte. Amtrak's a great way to travel. I'm looking forward to going to New Orleans soon, says Miranda. I like it, says Deanna. Awesome, says Jason. Wish it would come to Nashville, says Nancy. I think it's exciting news, says Dell. So, actually, very few negative comments there. Looks like a lot of you guys are excited. I think it might be fun to try. I think it could be fun. 4 hours, just a little bit longer, but it definitely kind of beats the hassle of having a car and having to pay for parking, because parking is really expensive. So you guys will have to let us know if you give it a try. All right, now we're going to get to our poll of the day, and it also has to do with Amtrak. Would you be willing to pay over $15 for an Amtrak ticket, yes or no? Yes or no? Would you be willing to pay over $15? Because you're probably going to have to pay over $15 for most tickets. Just so you know, the tickets on Amtrak fluctuate just like an airline ticket does. So, you go 1 minute, you go to book your plane, and, tickets are $150. Then, 2 hours later, they're $300. Kind of the same thing for Amtrak. We were looking for those $15 tickets yesterday. We didn't actually find any $15 tickets, but we'd find one for $24, and we'd find one for $30. Well, then another minute later, we click it, and it's $70 one way. So it really varies on the day of the week. So just know that if you're looking for $15, I don't know if you'll even find it. And you're just going to have to look for those fluctuations and plan your trip accordingly, because it could get really expensive if you're taking your whole family, and everybody's going to have to pay. I think you're going to have to pay $24, $30, per way. That's pretty expensive. So just maybe you'll pick your day based on the price of the tickets being lower, and kind of once things get going, maybe the prices will go down. But just know they're going to fluctuate, because we watched the numbers tick, tick, tick a lot in the newsroom yesterday when we were trying to pinpoint price of tickets. We're like, oh, that's weird. They said $15. Well, that's not really true. But they fluctuate just like those airplane tickets do. Okay, so if you would like to participate in our question or our poll of the day about Amtrak, go to WKRG.com or go to WKRG's Facebook page, and you will find them there. Okie dokie, everybody, that's going to do it for me for News 5 Now. Thanks so much for joining me. And just a reminder, I'll be off tomorrow and Friday, but I'll be back with you on Monday. So I wish all of you a wonderful 4th of July holiday. And I'll see you soon. Actually, I'll see you tonight at 5 on TV. Bye, everybody.
Covering news from your neighborhood and around the world. You are watching News 5 Now, brought to you by Green & Phillips Injury Lawyers.
In the courtroom, the judge knows best, and this judge does too. If you've been hurt in a wreck, you need a law firm that knows the system and how it works. I'm attorney David Green. Call or come by anytime. You never need an appointment.